too quick without explaining. So in the previous video, I said I was gonna do a review on Legacies, and I forgot to mention Supernatural. So, in my other previous review videos, it was only about Charm. Now I'm taking up a new challenge by doing the same thing with Legacies and with Supernatural. But with my other shows, I'm still debating whether or not should I do a review on them. Sorry. So this one is about Supernatural. I already did another one on I already did one on Legacies, and if you don't really understand me or something, sorry. Sometimes I tend to talk fast without realizing it. So on with the Supernatural. So in the last episode, we were left off with Sam and Eileen taken hostage by Chuck, who is also known as God, and they and Dean and Cass went to Purgatory to get this Leviathan Blossom so they can do the Mark of Cain and stuff to defeat God and save Eileen and Chuck from him. Chuck, Sam from him. But while they were doing that, Sam ends up taking a trip to the past, present, and future with Chuck, and he kept telling Chuck that no matter what he shows him, he's not going to give up hope. And then eventually he did once Dean and Cass is there, and out of nowhere, Chuck ends up healing him, and then I don't know about Sam, but I guess he is healed because at the ending, him and Eileen says goodbye, and then Cass and Dean talks, I guess. So with this new episode, Cass is probably somewhere doing hunting business, while it shows that Sam is making dinner or something, and then Dean's at the store, and both of them are having normal problems that they never had when they didn't knew that Chuck was puppeteering them. So Dean finally goes back to the bunker. He calls Sam. Sam comes in, but then he trips, and then Dean asks him, "Did you just trip?" And then he's like, "Yeah," or I think he said no. And then they talk. Then they get pissed about it because, or at least Dean does, because before they didn't have problems. They never tripped or anything. That's because Chuck was making sure they don't have any necessary normal problems, which is apparently how he shows it. And so then they talk about that, and then out of nowhere Garth calls, and Dean mentions it's Garth. He answers it. Garth's like, "Hey Dean, it's Garth," and without realizing that Dean already knows that because of the caller ID. Then Garth says that they have a problem and they need their help, but little did they know was that out of nowhere Dean and Sam would need the rescue. So they go to Garth's house, but on the way there, their car Baby ends up stopping out of nowhere. So breaks out of nowhere. So Garth and so finally when they got there, Bessie, which is Garth's wife, said, "Is that them?" And then he's like, "Yeah, I think that's what he said." But when I saw that he had 3 kids, that was so shocking because the last time we saw Garth, they found out that he was already married and that he was turned into a wolf and that they were a wolf. And then Sam and Dean came there. Sam didn't want to hug Garth because he was sick. And they saw Gertie. And then he's like, then Garth was like, "Come meet the kids." And then Dean or sounds like, "You have more kids?" And then he's like, yeah, come meet the rest of the pups. And then he's like, this is Gertie. And then then he says to his daughter to say hi to his to Daddy's friends, and he said hi. She said hi. And then he says, this is the boys. And then he first mentions that the first twin near him is named Sam. And honestly, it was so funny at that point because Dean ends up thinking and the next that the other twin was named after him, but then finds out that Garth named him Castiel because Garth says the other one is Castiel. So they talk about it, and then so they go into two separate places, or no, actually, Garth's like, Dean was wrong, and Dean's like, my teeth hurts or something, and then he's like, and then Dean ends up like a little bit like not mentioning that it hurts a lot by saying it hurts a little, and then he says it hurts a lot. Then Garth says, Dean, come on. They go down to the basement. Little does Dean know was that he didn't know what he was gonna expect. So Garth ends up opening the door, turn on the light, and it shows like a dentist kind of room. And he's like, oh no, I'm not this. And he tries to like leave until Garth takes his arm and takes him to the chair, and Dean's like, you're so strong. And then I was like, just thinking in my own opinion was that, I was like, Dean, don't you already know that your best friend is a werewolf, and you know werewolves are strong? Do you just notice that now? And then it goes to Bessie talking to Sam about him being sick, and then gives him her dad's secret drink recipe and on getting better. And Sam asks what's in it, and she's like, it's a secret, isn't it? So he drinks that. Then out of nowhere he's like tearing, and Bessie's like, just to let you know, there's a little cayenne pepper and stuff. And he's busy feeling the hotness or something, and Bessie and Garth's daughter Gertie ends up laughing a lot. The twins are in their playpen, I think that's what you call it, and they're like wondering how stupid Sam looks or something. But then one of them cries, and then Sam's keep licking his sleeve because he's trying to take the hotness away while he's tearing up. Dean's like being hesitant of letting Garth do his teeth, and then I don't know where Garth puts him on nitrogen, where I don't know where while Dean's like dreaming that he's in a musical with Garth. Garth is doing his teeth, and then Bessie has a plate and a drink, and Sam's like wondering why she's not giving him water or anything, and she ends up, then one of the babies cries, and then he says, you think he's like, I'm crying too or something. And then Dean comes to, and then Garth's like, hey buddy, and it shows that Dean's mouth is like really bloody and stuff, and I'm like, damn, he must have a lot of cavities for that to happen. So they go to the living room, and Sam said, what happened to you? And then, or something like that, and then Dean's like, I got my teeth done. And then Garth's like, knowing you guys, Dean hasn't never been to a dentist, and he ended up having cavities, and you getting sick, and he's like, you must have really pissed off someone and stuff. And and he asked who they pissed off, and he's like, God. And then Bessie's like, huh? And then they said, And then she's like, is he gone? And then they're like, yes. And then explain what happened between him and Chuck, them and Chuck, and then, and that they're just a show and stuff. And Garth is just there sitting, like, saying, I love being the guest star and stuff, and then talks about 50 Shades of Grey, and then him and Bessie talks about some other shows, but that deals with heroes, and then they talk about hero stuff. And then finally Bessie's brother ends up yelling her name. They go up there, and then he freaks out about the other two and said, you mean like Hunter friends? And then Bessie's like, no, they're cool, they're okay. And then out of nowhere, Sam ends up asking the brother something, and then the brother ends up like noticing that Sam does this puppy eyebrows face kind of thing, and so he starts looking at that. Then Dean starts asking where this like monster fight club was, and then he just like, oh, I can talk now. And then he sees everyone's faces, and he feels stupid of saying that. And then the brother's like, good for you, and they talk, and he tries to like lie that it was just like a natural beatdown and stuff, but then then Dean and Sam knew it wasn't that. So Bessie had to like, I think, claw her brother's injured arm just to get him to talk. And he's like telling them about the Monster Club, where it is, and what happens during it. And then he needed the cash because he has 3 baby mamas. And so they talk about that. Sam and Dean already goes to prepare to go over there to deal with it. Garth tells them that he's gonna go with them, and then Dean says, you have a wife, you have kids, we're not gonna do that to your wife. So Garth understands that, but then he ends up not following. I mean, Garth understands it, but yet he still went to the fight club. So once Dean and them went there, Dean ends up eating this grilled cheese that Bessie made, I think. And then he needed to go to the bathroom to barf, which he did. And Sam's like, I think you're lactose intolerant now. And while he's like, I'm okay, while still vomiting. And out of nowhere, Sam and Dean got their asses made, and they got locked in a cage where the two fighters were fighting. And then this guy who says that he's a shapeshifter said that it's his business and stuff, and that the two are gonna fight with this other monster guy that was with him, and he's a Jin. And so they do that. Sam, I think, was still cuffing. So they're talking and whatnot. And out of nowhere, they notice this Garth. And they say Garth. Garth sees them. And little did the shapeshifter knew was that someone already broke the two out of their cages, because he went to go get them. But before that, Garth was explaining how he got there. Or actually no, the 3 were already outside of the Fight Club building. Garth explains that when he got there, he put C4s in the building, and so because he was holding this device where he activates the bomb. So the 2 were so happy about that, because while the Jin guy was coming out of the building, Garth pressed the button and it blew up the place inside. But little did they know is that after they were done celebrating a little bit, this guy comes out roaring, and Garth's like, go, I got it. And he ends up woofing out, but then yet when he tried to like protect Sam and Dean, he ends up getting his ass kicked by the Jin, and he gets thrown over to this thing, and he goes unconscious. And then the 2 tries to fight with the gym, and then they kept getting like beating the crap out of them, because every time they do that, the gym's body was like made out of metal or something, that every time they punch or headbutt, they get worse amount of hurt on it. And then I don't know where Garth comes to, and I think slices the guy's head or stabs him in the back. And then after that, they go back home. And I think that was it, because they said goodbye. And then Bessie gives them a bag of grilled cheeses for the road. Garth explains about the time when he was with a hunter and whatnot, and that they had to go to Alaska, and you know when you get there. So that's what they do. They're driving back home, and they said they were gonna go to Alaska, I think. And then out of nowhere, their car breaks down in the middle where they exited out of Garth's place. And right before the episode ended, Dean's like saying son of the bad word, the SOB bad word. And then this episode ended. Honestly, that was like so funny, but what I took out of that was like more funny was that Dean kind of thought that one of the twins were named after him, considering he heard that one of them was named after Sam. But honestly, when I saw that, I was like, that's so cute that Garth would name one of his twins Sam, and then the other one Castiel. And then, but before they left, Sam and Dean were carrying baby Sam and baby Castiel. Dean's like, baby Cass is giving me a weird look, and then it sounds like much like the real Cass, and then baby Castiel ends up like showing his like little woofy yellow eyes, and Dean got so shocked on that he's like, I think he has something for you, and which he kind of made it think that baby Cass pooped in his little diaper or something. So he gives baby Cass back to Bessie, and then Sam gives baby Sam to Cassie. And I was like, dude, you know Garth is there too. So yeah, so that's what they did. So Garth walked Sam and Dean out, and that's when they were mentioning Alaska and stuff. So honestly, yeah, Supernatural and Legacies are my favorite episode shows lately. But this year, Supernatural is ending, I think, in April, which just sucks, because next week, Arrow's last episode is coming, and that's so sad. I really wish they didn't have to end, but sometimes it's always for the best. But then, yeah, we have the new spin-off coming up. Hopefully there is a new spin-off of the Green Arrow and the Canaries. I really hope that really comes through. And then with Supernatural ending, at least we have like probably 3 to 4 months left with it. 3 months left with it. So I'm really excited of their finale, but really sad that it's ending so soon. So yeah, that's all I have on the review on Supernatural and Legacies in the previous episode. It was really fun to make, and hopefully I get to do it in the next future episodes coming up. Every other week of this next few months is on. So hopefully I get to see that, and also I'll be doing a review of Chilling Adventures with Sabrina Spellman, and then with The Ranch, which is The Ranch. So I'm also going to be doing reviews on that, so hopefully it turns out good as expected. So I hope you guys loved the video as much as I love filming it and, you know, talking about it. So make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and tap the notification bell to always be notified when weekly new videos are coming out, and I'll see you in the next video.